Welcome back, guys, to part 2. I went ahead and got the front coilovers installed, bottomed out, but it's still not low enough. There's about a 1-inch gap still. So I found out I gotta order some drop forks to get that extra like 1 to 2 inches. So what I'm gonna do is I got some of those on the way. I'm gonna install them and then I'll just back the coilovers up to get that just a little bit tucked on the wheel. Not too much though, nothing too crazy. But in the meantime, instead of wasting time, I figured I'd go ahead and start on the rear of the car and get that knocked out before the drop forks come in.
Don't give in to hate. That leads to the dark side.
Went ahead, jacked up the rear, got it put up on the jack stands. I just got it sitting up on the frame, and what I'm kind of looking at right now is down here seeing what we're gonna need, and it looks like we might still be with 14s on all of these right here, all 3 of those right there. And for the top, it's also gonna be 14s right there. Actually, those look a bit smaller. Those look more like 12s. We'll see. We'll get around to that part. And all 3 of these here on both sides are gonna be 14s. Alright, I got the control arm loose right there. So now I'm up in here. Pretty much just getting the shock out of the way so I have more room to move the control arm around. Because it's not, well, that's what I wanted, so it's not a big deal at all. There we go, another one. Look at that. That is how compressed this thing was with these lowering springs. Quick note, these actually were not lowering springs. They were cut about midway, which is why the ride was so freaking bouncy. That is insane. And there's the control arm. This whole thing is like bent inwards, so I'm gonna have to kind of hammer that out real quick. New one goes in. Look at that, slides right in there, no issue. Alright, so I was just looking at it, realized I'm stupid and I have it backwards. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna flip it, and then what I have to do is I'll put this up on a jack, which I will show too. I'm gonna put this up on a jack so I can line these up easily and get it all bolted up, and then we can get the coilover on. I got these back ones bottomed out, kind of like I do the front, because like I said before, we're gonna have to get some drop forks because it's just not really sitting low enough for me. So the fronts are bottomed out right now. So I went ahead and bottomed out the rear too. And obviously if it's not right, I can just adjust it. So no big worries. Got it all bolted up, tightened down. And now I just went ahead and tightened them all the way because I'm impatient. But what you should do is leave them the slightest bit loose, so when you put it on the ground, it sets the preload, and then you can tighten them down afterwards. Anyways, now that that's done, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take out this upper control arm here, 14. I'm assuming this is a 16 or 17. And this is another 14 here. Take that control arm out, and then we're gonna slap the new ones in. Got the old control arm out. Your new ones are gonna look like this right here, and they are adjustable. I'm not too sure if I'm gonna do it just yet, adjust them, but we are gonna put them on and see how that all works out. Got it in. Well, for the most part, that bolt right there does not want to go back in all the way, so it's sticking part way out. But you know the way I do things, I don't care. Alright guys, so it's actually looking pretty good. I know I skipped a bit of a process, but I mean, you know, I just figured I'd rush and get the other side done real quick. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jack it up in the back real quick and just adjust some of that camber out on the right rear because it's just not really sitting how I want it to. Now, one thing to know with these, the lock nuts, they spin left to loosen. Now my thought process is, if that spins left to loosen, this is going to spin left also. No, spin this right, it pushes the wheel out. I don't know how that makes sense, but it's just like that. We turned it right just the slightest bit, and I got the camber lined up to about how I wanted it to be. So yeah, just loosen the lock nuts, and then left is in, right is out. All right, went ahead and put it down on the ground, and it is looking great. Went ahead and sprayed the wheel wells black just to get a nice dark look under there, and it looks really good. I know the camera probably doesn't make a huge difference, but you know, why not? Speaking of spray paint, I need to sand this down and put a clear coat over it, because if I'm going to do a wrap in the future, then I cannot let that rust anymore. I know this video was a little bit shorter than my last one, but that's just how it is. Keep an eye out for next week's video, which is going to be Monday, and we're going to be installing the drop forks and getting the project done. So leave a like, subscribe, and stick around so you don't miss out.